now we're in 1900, right? And so the blues is getting around. It's getting cut into wax cylinders and all kind of cool stuff. Instead of doing stuff like this, they started to do stuff like this. All right. Um, because I think there were a lot of piano players that were like, all you guitar players and singers get to do all these cool notes and slides and stuff. Why don't what do us piano players get? We don't get to do none of that. We just have a note there and then another note there, like light years away. So instead of a piano player will go, and for some reason, just sticking the extra note on top just makes it. So you can sing that second one, but you can't really play that on the piano. You can see I'm bending it, right? And then we move ahead here. We're getting into the early 1910s, the 20s, and so we start to hear the piano players try to imitate the worried notes. They try to imitate the bluesmen, the quality of the vocal and the guitar playing. And we get a little style of piano music known as ragtime. And ragtime, I wouldn't necessarily put it in the same category as like R&B. It's very specific when we're talking about ragtime. You're talking about a stride pattern, which is this, right? So the left hand is doing bass and chord. So you've got multiple layers, right? And I got to actually like look down a lot of time for that. My hands are not quite that big. You have techniques like this being developed, the really large handed tenths. Serves the same purpose. You got your bass line, and you can kind of play chords on top as well. And it's sort of a easier way to grab that stride pattern. But you can also do cool stuff like this as well. So these are the two kind of main new techniques that, thanks to the blues, thanks to the Delta blues, thanks to the folks down there in the deep South with their banjos and their guitars and their soulful, worried notes, it affected piano players just as much, and it completely like knocked the trajectory of where piano technique at the time was going. They started, dispersing the sheet music. People discovered guys like Scott Joplin, and Scott Joplin was another one of these geniuses and legends. He knew how to get that sound, and it became like the defining composer. He became the defining composer of ragtime music, overall. And so we have like songs like The Entertainer, which I'm sure you've all heard on ice cream trucks all over the country. Actually, I was supposed to go like that. But anyway. So yeah, and of course that song just goes on forever. I don't really know the rest of it. But anyway, that's the main part you probably recognize. And again, you'll recognize the stride piano. You recognize that there. I've actually... You see stuff like this, and this is almost like something you'd see in in a Mozart sonata or a Beethoven sonata, really. You can make that sound very classical. So you can make it sound like ragtime. You could also make it sound like Beethoven. You know. Same exact notes, but it's the style of how you perform it.